At the White House, a handshake, smiles and plenty of talk about peace. But Ukraine's President Zelensky walked away without what he came for, America's Tomahawk cruise missiles. Zelensky had hoped to convince President Trump that the long-range Tomahawks could change the course of the war by hitting Russia's oil and energy targets. But Trump wasn't ready to say yes. The US president's tone, cautious, even hopeful that the war might end without more weapons. After their cordial meeting, Zelensky said that the two discussed long-range missiles but agreed not to make announcements because the United States does not want an escalation. And to end fight, leaders must sit and talk, and weapons are necessary to defend Ukraine.
I think we need to sit and speak. The second point, we need ceasefire. Even now, you see in the Middle East, it's very difficult to hold ceasefire. Everywhere, in every war, it's very difficult. We want peace. Putin doesn't want. That's why we need pressure on it. We will speak with President today what we need. We understand what we need to push Putin to negotiation table.
Just hours later, Trump posted on X his message to both Kyiv and Moscow. Stop where you are and end the war. Trump posted, the meeting with Zelensky was very interesting and cordial, but I told him, as I likewise strongly suggested to President Putin, that it is time to stop the killing and make a deal. Enough blood has been shed, with property lines being defined by war and guns. They should stop where they are. Let both claim victory. Let history decide. So in short, Trump's message was clear. No more killing, no more spending, end the war and go home. The Trump-Zelensky meeting came a day after Trump spoke with Russian President Volodymyr Putin by phone and agreed to meet him in Hungary soon.
A lot of bad blood with the two presidents, and I'm not speaking out of turn when I say it. It's a very difficult situation. You know, we just settled the war, and after thousands of years, I guess. People say anywhere from 500 to 3,000 years. And I was in rooms, as you saw, because you were with me, a lot of you were with me last week, with leaders that didn't like each other, but they were able to get along. These two leaders do not like each other, and we want to make it comfortable for everybody. So one way or the other, we'll be involved in threes, but it may be separated.
President Trump. President Trump.
Was he what? Where are you from?
From Ukraine. He actually had a
Okay, good.
conversation with me.
Good, yeah.
What if President Putin doesn't agree to peace in Hungary? What do you do then? Do you have?
Well, let's see what
steps for
happens.
that?
I mean, you know, what if? I think he will. I think that President Putin wants to end the war, or I wouldn't be talking this way. I think he wants to end the war. I spoke to him yesterday for 2.5 hours. We went through a lot of details. He wants to get it ended. I think that President Zelensky wants to get it ended. Now we have to get it done.
On Thursday, Trump said great progress was made during a phone call with Putin, with the pair agreeing to face-to-face talks soon in Hungary. Asked whether Zelensky would be involved in those talks, Trump said before his meeting, sitting alongside Ukrainian president, that there was bad blood between Putin and Zelensky. When asked who's the better negotiator, Putin or Zelensky, Trump had classic answer.
I think they're both doing a great job in that sense. We have to get it done. We've got to take some of the hatred of each other. You know, they don't like each other. I say that in front of President Zelensky, but I say it in front of President Putin too. They have tremendous bad blood. It's really is what is holding up, I think, a settlement. I think we're going to get it done, and we have to make it long-lasting. As I said in the Middle East, everlasting, right? Everlasting. And the Middle East is a much more complicated situation. You know, we had 59 countries involved, and every one of them agreed. And it's, you know, it's sort of amazing. Most people didn't think that was doable. This is going to be something I really believe that's going to get done.
Zelensky believes Tomahawks to strike at Russian oil and energy facilities would severely weaken Putin's war economy. Trump didn't rule out sending Tomahawks but sounded non-committal. He said, hopefully they won't need it. Hopefully they will get the war over without even thinking about Tomahawks. Zelensky even offered American drones in exchange for the missiles, a light moment that drew smiles in the room. He also praised Trump's success in the Middle East peace talks, suggesting the US leader could use that momentum to end Russia's war. Outside the White House, when asked if Putin really wanted peace or just buying time, Zelensky was cautious. He said, I don't know, but Russia is afraid of Tomahawks and it's a strong weapon.
I think that Russians are afraid about Tomahawks, really afraid, because it's a strong weapon. And they know what we have, what kind of weapon we have, our production. And they understand that combination with Tomahawks, because we speak about it. We don't speak about Tomahawks like Tomahawks. We need combination. And that's why they're afraid of this combination. They understand what we can do.
In a post on X, Zelensky said he had called European leaders to share details of the meeting with Trump, adding that the main priority now is to protect as many lives as possible, guarantee security for Ukraine and strengthening all of us in Europe. Meanwhile, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer reaffirmed support, promising to continue humanitarian and military aid to Kyiv. So, no Tomahawks, no promises, but perhaps a pause and a push for peace. Trump wants both sides to stop where they are, while Zelensky still wants the tools to fight on. So next up, Trump's planned meeting with Volodymyr Putin in Hungary, which could set the tone for what comes next. For more news and updates, stay tuned to FPJ.